Frederick Douglass was an influential African-American abolitionist, writer, and orator. He was born into slavery around 1818 in Talbot County, Maryland, but he escaped to freedom in 1838. Douglass became one of the leading voices in the abolitionist movement during the 19th century. Douglass's life is a testament to his determination and resilience. Despite experiencing the horrors of slavery, he taught himself to read and write, which was a rare accomplishment for a slave at the time. He believed that education was the key to freedom and fought passionately for the abolition of slavery. In 1845, Douglass published his autobiography, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. The book became a bestseller and brought him international recognition. In his writing, Douglass exposed the brutalities and dehumanizing effects of slavery, challenging the arguments used to justify it. Douglass was a powerful speaker and delivered numerous speeches advocating for equal rights and the end of slavery. One of his most famous speeches, What to the Slave is the 4th of July, delivered on July 5, 1852, in Rochester, New York, condemned the hypocrisy of celebrating freedom while denying it to enslaved people. During the American Civil War, Douglass became an advisor to President Abraham Lincoln and an advocate for the recruitment of African American soldiers. He firmly believed that African Americans should fight for their freedom and equality. After the Civil War, Douglass continued his activism, advocating for voting rights, equal education, and economic opportunities for African Americans. He also fought against segregation and lynching. Frederick Douglass remains an iconic figure in American history and an inspiration for his tireless efforts to promote justice and equality. His work played a significant role in bringing about the eventual end of slavery and the advancement of civil rights in the United States. Today, he's remembered as one of the most influential African American leaders of the 19th century.
Born into slavery, Frederick Douglass's early experiences would shape his perspective and fuel his passion for justice. His initial writings reveal a vivid account of the horrors of slavery, providing a first-hand look into the brutal and dehumanizing nature of this institution. His words were not mere stories. They were a mirror held up to society, reflecting the stark reality of the era. As Douglass's voice grew stronger, so too did his call for emancipation. His writings became powerful tools in the abolitionist movement, persuading readers to support the immediate end of slavery. He penned compelling arguments against slavery, highlighting its moral, economic, and political implications. His eloquence helped to galvanize public opinion, building momentum for the abolitionist cause. But Douglass didn't stop at exposing the realities of slavery and advocating for its end. He recognized the transformative power of education and self-improvement. In his writings, he urged African Americans to seek knowledge and skills, to empower themselves and challenge the oppressive systems of their time. His emphasis on education laid the groundwork for the intellectual empowerment of African Americans, contributing to their eventual participation in the civil rights movement. And his words did not just inspire intellectual growth, they inspired action. Douglass's personal story of liberation and success against overwhelming odds encouraged others to resist oppression and pursue freedom. His emphasis on individual agency and collective action resonated with those committed to achieving civil rights and social justice. Douglass's influence extended beyond his immediate audience. His writings shaped public opinion and policy, reaching policymakers, reformers, and activists who looked to his work for guidance and inspiration. As one of the most prominent African American voices of his time, his writings played a significant role in the discourse around slavery, racial inequality, and civil rights. In conclusion, Frederick Douglass's writings were more than just words on a page. They were a rallying cry for justice, a beacon of hope, and a blueprint for action. His contributions to the fight for civil rights remain relevant today, continuing to inspire and guide those committed to equality and justice. So, next time you delve into the pages of history, remember the profound impact of Frederick Douglass's writings. They serve as a timeless testament to the power of words and the enduring pursuit of justice.
In the year 1853, Douglass penned The Heroic Slave, a novella that serves as a fictionalized account of Madison Washington, an enslaved man who led a successful rebellion on a slave ship. This piece explores the themes of resistance and heroism, while probing the moral implications of slavery. Moving on to 1855, Douglas published his second autobiography, My Bondage and My Freedom. Here he expanded on his initial narrative, offering a more detailed account of his experiences as a slave and his journey towards freedom. This piece also reflects Douglas's intellectual growth, revealing his evolving perspectives on religion and politics. Between 1847 and 1851, Douglas founded and edited the abolitionist newspaper, The North Star. This platform served to champion the cause of emancipation and advocate for the rights of African Americans. Covering a broad spectrum of topics from slavery and politics to social issues, the North Star provided a powerful platform for Douglas to articulate his views and rally support for the abolitionist movement. In 1881, Douglas published his third and final autobiography, Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. This retrospective piece recounts his life experiences, from his childhood and escape from slavery to his career as an activist and public speaker. This work allowed Douglas to reflect on the progress made in the fight against slavery, while also highlighting the ongoing challenges faced by African Americans in post-Civil War America. These works, along with countless speeches and articles, underscored Douglas's pivotal role in propelling the abolitionist movement and advocating for the rights and freedoms of African Americans. His writings, rich in their historical and literary significance, continue to be studied and revered as monumental contributions to American literature and the history of social justice movements. In summary, the evolution of Frederick Douglass's thoughts and writings, seen in the chronology of his works, paints a vivid picture of a man who was not just a former slave, but a powerful voice that fought against inequality. His writings, from The Heroic Slave to his final autobiography, reflect a man who continuously evolved in his understanding, continuously challenged the status quo, and continuously fought for justice. The significance of his works cannot be understated, as they remain a testament to his enduring legacy in the fight for equality and justice.
How much power does education truly hold? Can it be the key to liberation, equality, and civil rights? The life and work of Frederick Douglass, a revered African-American abolitionist, writer, and orator, provides a compelling answer to these questions. Born into slavery, Douglass went on to become a leading voice in the struggle for civil rights, driven by his strong belief in the transformative power of education and self-improvement. His ideas and their influence have left an indelible mark on the trajectory of the civil rights movement, shaping it in profound ways. Firstly, Douglass saw education as a path to intellectual empowerment. He urged African Americans to seek knowledge, to sharpen their minds, and to question the world around them. His belief in the power of education to foster self-confidence and challenge the narratives of racial inferiority played a significant role in motivating African Americans to strive for their rights. Secondly, Douglass's focus on education and self-improvement served as a catalyst for leadership development within the African American community. He believed that individuals with education could become potent advocates and agents of change. His extraordinary journey from slavery to becoming an influential figure provided a shining example for future civil rights leaders like W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Furthermore, Douglass was a staunch advocate for equal education. He saw education as a tool to challenge racial inequality and oppression, and he called for the establishment of institutions that would provide quality education to African Americans. His advocacy sowed the seeds for later efforts to desegregate schools and improve educational opportunities for all. Moreover, the emphasis Douglass placed on self-improvement and self-reliance spurred African Americans to advocate for themselves and demand their rights. He urged individuals to take control of their destinies, a philosophy that encouraged African Americans to assert their dignity, challenge discrimination, and insist on equal treatment under the law. Lastly, Douglass understood the connection between education and political empowerment. He knew that educated individuals could effectively engage in political activism and push for policy changes. His call for African American participation in the political process deeply influenced the civil rights leaders who later fought for voting rights, representation, and policy reforms to dismantle segregation and discrimination. In summary, Frederick Douglass's focus on education and self-improvement provided a crucial philosophical and practical framework for the civil rights movement. His ideas helped shape the movement's strategies, empowered African Americans to demand equality, and laid the groundwork for the intellectual, educational, and political advancements that were critical in the ongoing struggle for civil rights. His legacy, deeply interwoven with the power of education, continues to inspire and guide the pursuit of equality and justice.